Hey guys, Delman here, and another video for you guys in our Star Citizen Mega Ship series, and voted by you, for you, is the Caterpillar. So let's jump in and talk about the Caterpillar, which will be out real soon, and that thing's gonna be a lot of fun. And if you are a Caterpillar owner, then yeah, you're gonna want to watch this. Alright folks, let's jump right in. Alright, let's see what it says here in the original concept. What makes the Caterpillar cool? The phrase fighting transport may seem like a contradiction in terms, but it's accurate here. The Caterpillar is intended to be the centerpiece of pirate raids in the Star Citizen world. Imagine teaming up with your friends to attack a shipping convoy, a squadron of cutlasses for cover and interdiction, a herald for electronic warfare duties, and a Caterpillar for the dirty work. The Caterpillar is a highly modular and can be configured for a number of different roles. Even the command pod detaches for quick getaway. The Cat also intended as a platform for boarding operations. Pirates can marshal their shock troops aboard the ship and then force their way into larger targets like frigates and cruisers. So the Caterpillar is gonna be a very fun ship. It's basically a pirate ship at heart, but you can use it for very honest deeds as well. So there are 4 pods that are interchangeable right now for the Caterpillar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 moving towards the back, and then in the body of the Caterpillar there's an additional 2 pods which are not modular. Now, in the Caterpillar you'll be able to maybe make it for what sort of purpose you want to use it for. You'll be able to make it for, say, search and rescue, so you could have a couple of, a salvage area up near the front, then a cargo hold, a medical station, you name it, you can get it. A Caterpillar can also be turned into a gunship with various pods in the future with multiple turrets and missiles and things like this. The Caterpillar can be turned into a ginormous dropship. It may handle like a brick, it may fly like a brick, but it's going to have some decent armor if you think about it for something like a dropship, but you don't want it to take too many hits. The Caterpillar can also carry lots of cargo, or it can be used as a pocket carrier, meaning you can use it to carry lots of snub-nosed fighters or a bunch of dragonflies for, you're a biker gang HQ. If you really want to go down that road, you could have a biker gang in Star Citizen with your dragonflies and use a Caterpillar as your HQ. Your flying clubhouse. But yeah, it's a very awesome ship, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it flying around the verse. So let's see what else there is on the Caterpillar. Drake maintains that the Caterpillar, a soaring modular spacecraft which appears at least somewhat like its namesake, is for legitimate commerce and extended search and rescue missions. But at the end of the day, the Caterpillar is truly the evil twin of the Freelancer. Now that needs to be changed because it's truly the evil twin of the Starfarer now. It's a lot bigger than it was originally. So let's see the original old school stats here, which some of them are wrong and a bit off because the ship has changed dramatically since these stats. But we'll read them because it's what we always do here. Focus transport length 67 meters. Now we know for a fact that it's longer than the Starfarer, so it's over 100 meters in length. Mass 84,516 kilograms, max crew of 5, cargo capacity 512. Propulsion overview. Primary engines 2 tier 5. Maneuvering thrusters we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tier 2 maneuvering thrusters, 1 size 5 power plant, 4 size 4 gimbaled mounts, a to be determined pylon mount, unmanned turret to be determined, shield size 5, additional equipment 1 slot. So that means you'll be able to change one thing out apparently, but we all know the true fact of the Caterpillar is it has 4 slots that you can swap in and out, like for total modularity. So yeah, it's pretty good. So the Caterpillar, the way you can really see it working in the verse is somewhat like this. If you have a pirate organization, you might need a couple of these, because if you're going to be a pirate, you're going to need to think about how you're going to ambush trade ships and whatnot, and you want to have minimal losses and things like this. So what I'd recommend to you is using the Caterpillar as a more of a shock and awe kind of ship. You fly in, you give them your demands, after you've pulled them out, and you give them the chance to hand over the cargo. Don't blow them out of the space lane straight away. You know what I mean? With permadeath being a thing, it's not what you want to do to everybody you come across. So you'll come across them and you'll, say, hey, hand over the cargo, or, bad stuff will happen. Maybe fire a couple of warning shots, blow off a couple of engines, You know the drill. So then, you'll fill up your caterpillar and you'll be out of there in no time with no problems and with plenty of profit aboard because the caterpillar can hold quite a bit of cargo. Or maybe you're a pirate hunter org like the org I run. You're interested in stopping pirates. What you could use a caterpillar for is you could use it as a Q ship. You could just park it somewhere and, have it run the space lanes completely empty or filled with marines and wait for pirates to pull it out. Then once they have, they'll go to the ransom, get the cargo, they'll attach themselves to it, and that's when they realize instead of glorious cargo, there's a bunch of angry marines with assault rifles pouring into their ship. And that's never a good time if you're a pirate. Or you can use it for general trade purpose. It's going to be a really good trade ship and a real fun one to fly. And if you want to be a space trucker, then this is the ship for you. You'll be able to cruise the space lanes, carrying cargo from here to there in your very own caterpillar. Now the caterpillar is absolutely gorgeous. I really do love the cockpit, because underneath the cockpit is where you'll have your secondary living quarters for the people who are in the bridge, you could say, or the escape pod. And there's a second window there that is just used for observation. So let's say you have an NPC flying your ship. You could just go down there, go in the bed and log off. Say you log on and your ship's just maybe in low orbit or flying along. You'll wake up and you'll look out that window and have one of the most amazing views you can imagine. And I really do like the cockpit pod for that very reason. It has an awesome field of view. Now, there's one slight problem though, that it's an asymmetrical ship, which means you won't be able to see anything that's going on the right side of the ship. Or, no, I think the cockpit was swapped to the other side. But yeah, you won't be able to see anything on one side of the ship. And that could be a problem if you're trying to fly through a tight space like an asteroid field, which you should not ever be doing in a caterpillar. That's never going to end well, because you can't see the other side of the ship where there's a huge arm that sticks out, where there's a room with a large glass window where the person who operates the tractor beam will sit. Now, that is a very interesting section of the ship because of its powerful tractor beam. It means you can use it for piracy or search and rescue. You can use it to pull in escape pods, to the ship and bring them aboard safely, or pull cargo that mysteriously fell off the back of that ship over there you were chasing and pull that into your ship. There's pretty much all sorts of things you can do with the ship. It will make an excellent search and rescue craft. You could fly along, find somebody that's badly damaged or they've jettisoned from their ship and they're in their escape pod floating in space. You could fly up, bring them aboard, and then give them your finder's fee and say, hey, we found you. This is how much it's going to cost you for us to deliver you home and whatnot. Please pay, kind of thing. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do with the ship. It also, yeah, like I said, it can be turned into a gunship, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Caterpillar it's going to handle a bit like a train, if you got what I mean. It's not going to be super maneuverable. So yeah, Caterpillar is definitely a nice ship. It's in my top 10 favorite ships for sure. I used to own a Caterpillar, but I had to melt it down to get the Polaris. And then, funnily enough, 7 more people showed up in the org with Polarises. So yeah, that happened. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend picking up the Caterpillar if it does go on sale again, fellas, because it's a good one. And remember what I told you guys, if you have an LTI token, save it for a big ship like this so you can get the LTI on the hull. So, what is it about Drake then, the people who built the Caterpillar? In order to get a feel for the Caterpillar, you have to know a little bit more about the company itself. So let's talk about them for a second. So Drake Interplanetary is a legitimate company, and it's an open secret that they manufacture cheap, well-armed spacecraft favored by pirates. To the point that they're named in that vein: the Cutlass, the Buccaneer, the Caterpillar, and you have the Dragonfly. Drake Interplanetary builds ships that are, for legal purposes, local militias, and things like that. But they're obviously for pirates. If you and I both know this, then you'll also know that their ships lack ejection systems. Apart from the Caterpillar's entire command module can detach from the rest of the ship and be an escape pod in the event of something disastrous happening. But the rest of the Drake lineup does not have ejection systems because they are cheap, rugged, reliable ships. So the Caterpillar won't have anything fancy, so don't expect to find all the bells and whistles. You're not going to have all the ejection systems. You're not going to have, you'll have your ejection pod for the bridge, That's it. Everything else, like you're talking air conditioning, you're talking, you know, the little green Christmas tree thing you hang up, that ain't coming as standard, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to get that stuff later down the line. Drake Caterpillar may lack certain things that every other ship has, like maybe has a cheap sensor array. It maybe might have, you know, cheap turret mounts, all that sort of stuff. It won't have the top of the line stuff by any means. I mean, what if you were gonna make a spectrum from, say, let's say best quality, like to reliable kind of quality, we'll go and make a chart just now, like imaginary chart here. So let's say Drake is one end of the spectrum. Their ships are rugged. They're like pickup trucks. The really old ones. They're reliable. They get the job done. Nothing more. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Origin, which makes ships which are trying to be everything all at once and super luxury. So you have Rolls-Royce, and then you have Chevy. That's what it's like, okay, fellas? Alright, so that pretty much covers Drake's basic stuff. But yeah. So, let's have a look here at what else they say. Drake Interplanetary became incorporated soon after the Cutlass was reappropriated as a civilian craft after having lost the UEE contest in 29-22. The purpose of the contest was to create a ship that could be constructed rapidly to outfit distant home defense squadrons in times of need. Jan Dredge came CEO along with 7-member board, which consisted mainly of designers that had worked on the Cutlass. Drake was not the surname of anyone involved in the project. It was selected as an acceptably smooth-sounding name, chosen specifically with the hopes that it would make their spacecraft more accepted and more appealing. This was the first of a series of money over all decisions that would quickly came to define the company. So, what makes the Drake ships more swing towards pirates? Well, let's see here. The question that soon became apparent regarding the Cutlass sales, who was buying these things, and thousands upon thousands of ships, and what were they doing with them? As long as the star credits kept coming in, no one at Drake was especially interested. The answer, of course, was pirate organizations. Now, thanks to the affordable Cutlass, it was a new tool of choice. Smugglers and pirates, long cut off from the standard insurance system available to citizens, had mostly been operating with obsolete discards, an armada of varied designs including patchwork Constellation Mark Is, military surplus Strikehawks, and even century-old MISC flying wings. Now they had a readily replacement spacecraft that fit their budget. An analysis soon found that the Cutlasses were suddenly transporting narcotics, raiding cargo convoys, even daring to engage police patrols, increasing frequency. It has become clear, though wholly acknowledged, that the company realized they made a deal with the devil. The Caterpillar transport, for instance, mounted more tractor beams and heavy weapons than anything in the same class. Advertising became more obvious as well, with showroom model Cutlasses appearing in black stealth schemes and skull and crossbone logos. So basically, folks, Drake saw that pirates were buying their ships, and instead of going, oh, you know what, these are not the desired people to be buying our vessels, they went, what the hell, the money's good. So they decided to tailor themselves more towards pirates. But you gotta remember, folks, Drake does not have ejection systems for things like the Cutlass or the Drake Buccaneer, because Drake is literally cheap, affordable, and what they can get bolt onto those ships, like, you know, at the time, what is necessary for these ships. They don't go overboard with silly things like ejection systems and things that'll maybe save your life in the long term. They go for what works, what's cheap, what's doable then and there. So, I hope that was enough information for you folks on the Caterpillar and its history and its point of origin. And I hope you enjoy these videos. I'm going to continue to make them, guys, as long as you keep wanting to watch them. So yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys. I have been making quite a few videos lately, and I've noticed now they've kind of been stacking up, and it's really cool to see the community that's come in here and been watching them and built up in the comment section. You guys are awesome. So, to vote for your next ship in the Star Citizen Mega Ship series here, just vote with the typing the name of the ship followed by in capitals with brackets the word next. Or if you want to see something unique and unknown, type in the word unknown in capitals with a couple of brackets. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. You know the drill, commanders. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.